this is Matt. Welcome back to Black Apex. We got another video today. Just got back from a little car meet downtown. Just a little nice change of pace, but we got a lot of really high intensity leg days coming up. So I thought it'd be a good idea to take some time and show a full, really in-depth lower body warm-up, especially if you're doing high volume, explosive, or training in maybe suboptimal conditions. You want to make sure you warm up really, really well and make sure you're not going to get injured. So we're going to go through a full lower body warm-up today, and let's get after it. So to start your warm-up, the first thing you're going to want to do is jog for about 5 minutes, and then immediately after that, we're going to roll into hip mobility, and that's going to be a couple different things. Pretty simple. I'll go through those real quick. So the first thing is going to be knee raises, standing completely straight up, keep the heel under the butt, tap the toe to the floor, and that's just a 10 count. And then do that on both legs. Once you're done with that, the next thing is going to be what I call a rocking heel swing, which is just something I completely made up. If you look it up, God knows what it's actually called. That's going to look like this. It's going to be in the same position. You're going to bring the knee slightly forward with the leg bent a little bit, and it's going to be, you're going to kind of rock the heel down to the floor and then bring it back up to this position. And do that for a 10 count. And of course, do the same thing on the other leg. If you need something to balance on for this, that's perfectly fine. You can use a wall or a post or a fence or whatever, it doesn't really matter. When you're done with that, you're gonna do a side swing, which is gonna look something a little bit more like this. Out, and do that again for a 10 count. And then do it again on the other leg. Okay. Once you're done with that, you're gonna be on the ground. You're gonna start completely on the ground, and it's going to be a forward swing, have the heel floating above the ground a little bit, bring it up, and just try to keep your leg as straight as your flexibility will allow, and do that for a 10 count. And do that on the other leg. When you're done with that, you're gonna go to your knees. You're gonna bring the knee forward slightly and then kick back to this position. Do that for a 10 count. And then again on the other leg. And then the last part for the hip mobility, again, I'm not completely sure what it's called. It's like a rotating fire hydrant. If anyone knows what that word means, you probably did track and field. Anyway, it's gonna look like this. You're gonna go back slow. You're gonna bring the leg out to the side like this, and then back underneath, and do that for a 10 count. So it's gonna look kind of like this. And then the final thing is an actual fire hydrant, which is real simple. Knee down, out to the side just like that. And then again on the other side, all of these are for a 10 count. Once you're done with that, the next thing we're gonna go to is some light plyometric drills. We'll roll into those right now. So this is gonna be a variation of skip drills. It's gonna be an A skip, a B skip, a C skip, Karioki, and the last thing is gonna be lunges and heel walks. I'll roll through those right now and kind of explain a little bit about them. So the first one's an A skip, which is gonna look something like this. The whole point, you want your knee to come up to parallel with the heel underneath. Come down, as soon as it strikes, the other one's coming up like this. And you want to try to keep a rhythm and keep bouncing a little bit. After that, the next thing is going to be a B-skip, which is a very similar position, except you're coming up heel to the butt and then to the same resting position. It's going to look kind of like this. And again, just real hard to here, to this position, and back down. After that, this is what I'm calling a C. I think there might be some other name for it. You're gonna be going backwards, bringing the knee up, out, and then to the same position. I'll do it this way. It's gonna look something like this. Once you're done with that, Karioki is like this, except the variation that I do is incorporating a high knee as well. So you're gonna come here and then to here. And you're gonna do that twice, each leg leading. The final thing is just basic lunges like this. And then a heel walk is a hamstring stretch. On the heel, come down, scoop it, feel a stretch in the hamstring, come back up, switch legs, do it again. So this portion of the warm-up is gonna look something like this. So the next thing we got is Plyo Hurdles. We're gonna do a single, a double with separate legs leading, sideways, and then that's it for just the Plyo Hurdles. It's gonna look like this. And then this is gonna be the double leading with the right. Then you're gonna do double leading with the left. Next thing's gonna be sideways. And then sideways going the other direction. If you hit a hurdle, not a big deal. And then we're gonna move on to the final part of the plyo portion, which is gonna be speed ladders. If you don't have a speed ladder and you don't have a lot of money, buy a 99-cent can of spray paint and make one on the ground. That's what I got going on right here. I'll show you what that looks like. Foot, 12 inches, 16 inches apart, something like that, and that'll work just fine. For this one, we're gonna do the same thing, single, double, leading both ways, sideways, but then we're also gonna do a slalom and a multi-step, and I'll show you what all that looks like right here. Then the double, leading with the right. Double leading with the left. Sideways, and this is just like the Plyo Hurdles. Do it the other way. Now you're going to do a slalom. Now, if you make these boxes, it'll make it a little easier, but it's the same either way. Final thing is what I call a multi-step, which is, you know, something like this. Now we're on to the final portion of the warm-up. Okay, so the last part of this warm-up is going to be 2 sets of bounding and 2 accelerated sprints. Now what bounding is the easiest way to explain it is it's almost like jumping from one step to the other continuously. And I'll go ahead and show what that means right now. Now if you've never done this before and you're just trying to learn it, an easy way to do it is just to try to go a little slow and treat it just like I explained it, so something more like this. Hit. Jump. Just like exaggerated running. Now the last thing is an accelerated sprint, which is really simple and exactly how it sounds. You're just gonna sprint. I'm going to that post over there, starting slow and just building up, and you wanna try to be, this warm-up has 2 of them. You wanna be 80–85% of your top speed by the time you're done accelerating and you've done a proper acceleration. And it's gonna look something like this. And that's gonna be the warm-up. So you're gonna do 2 sets each, 2 accelerations, 2 bounding. Anyway, so that's the warm-up for lower body workouts, whether it be running. I even use that for when I do my lower body lifting workouts. Make sure you warm up really well. Make sure you get that done so you can surpass your limits when you get in the weight room. But that's it for this one. If you like this, subscribe and we'll catch you in the next one.